Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So, not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So, now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So, not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So, now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So, not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So, now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So, not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow dey lick, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem lick pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call Colres, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem wey they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow dey lick, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem lick pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call Colres, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem wey they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow dey lick, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem lick pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call Colres, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem wey they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow dey lick, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem lick pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call Colres, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem wey they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, Before I go to the wahala na we are, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when them cook the soup or plasas where them like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call colors, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to.
Alright, good morning and welcome to another edition of a program we call Colgate. Right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook so we can discuss, issues that really come from the front page of the newspaper. I want to say very, very sorry. We are actually being for start on time, but we experienced some problem with the Zoom line. So we want to say very, 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 very sorry for that. But like yesterday, so we will do today. We're not wasting any more time. We'll go straight and begin talk to we guest them and discuss the issues them where we already don't get. From the newspaper them. And we get two guests them. We don't join me inside the program this morning for let we see how best we can able for discuss the issues them we don't come out of the different newspaper then. And we get Moisa Kekura in the Edman for Future newspaper. Moisa, good morning and welcome to Colliers.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, everyone.
And we as well get Reverend. Sorry, let's just go over the name quickly. We get just Reverend Lionel Bett. Reverend Lionel Bett. Now, senior citizen, we get so much passion about discussing issues about Sierra Leone as well. He based now in the United States of America. And I don't look how issues then they unfold inside the country. And I don't join me inside the program today. And maybe today for the first time we go as well to get some biblical, quotation them or biblical, example and explanations them based on what they can talk about. Reverend, good morning and welcome to Colliers.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here.
All right.
And yes, for the first time, yes.
Okay, so since not the first time, we get one traditional question we can ask people when they appear for the first time now the program. And the name of the program na Colliers. So the question we are going to ask you now, when na the last time when you eat Colliers?
Especially Colliers. Like it is nice after that, as you can see, you don't tear. It's like I love Catholic Colliers. And I ate last week. And on holiday I come and I go back na Freetown in about a couple of months' time.
Okay.
And I always keep in touch of watching up in Freetown.
Okay, that's great. Okay, we're glad as well forget you for the very first time there. So Moisa be done the appear, so you're not the very first time. So we'll go straight. Sorry about that. We're not going to foresee we get them today, because we actually get problem with connection. I don't really know what's in the problem. But we'll go straight and begin look at the front page of the newspaper then, whilst we discuss the issues them as well. Reverend and Moisa, yesterday, let's just look at this paper we carried that particular story there. Yesterday, we actually on the Monday, we see inside some Sierra Leoneans them inside United Kingdom, London to be specific, take to the streets and petition the British government on the issue them way they happen inside Sierra Leone. They actually protest against the government and the things that we then say no good way they happen inside the country. So let's get on a take on this, because the first paper we carried on there, and I think the only paper we carried on there, they call them public review. Yeah, public review get this banner headline we say Sierra Leoneans in UK protest against BO government. So let's just get on a take. What do you think about that kind of action here so from Sierra Leoneans them and the diaspora? Reverend, since the first thing.
Well, as far as I know, we have a right to protest, number one. But then again, before look at the the protest and before look at the consequences afterwards, because being a minister of the gospel, now you're always careful what they do, because one Bible clearly say whatsoever you sow, you go reap. If it is well-meaning, then it will fine. But if now ulterior motive, she got to look the heart, no look the action or the heart, and the look the reason why you want for do them. And we for members say that whatever, just like a way man and woman married, if the husband or the wife they go talk that kid bad about the man, that the man himself they reflect on, but the woman do they reflect on the man, but the man do they reflect on the woman. So I think so for be very careful on what we choose for demonstrate about. And we all like Sierra Leone, we all like Sierra Leone, 140 Sierra Leone, better we for join and for make sure that this thing is achieved. I can come back, I can come over here, I can travel, I can share what they see how we country they backward. How we country, it is so backward and not good for talk about them as down they do. I can look all this, I can say, why shouldn't we, for once they promote we country? I remember years back before I ever went to Gambia. Whenever the Gambia they talk about in country, they talk so nice about them. Before I go Gambia, I say, what's this country they talk about? So it was much more below the expectation how the Gambians they portray the country outside. Now one country we get, let we try for build this country instead of try for put this country to me, my personal opinion in a bad light. That made it free. If I for protest about love we do if we really get conviction of we heart that what we are doing is right.
So that make I go ask you the question again, the further question for going to within this protest they're about. And the protest against the outcome of the election. So as a religious man and as a Sierra Leonean senior citizen, we don't look at how things they go on. How you go say the election been talek in terms of the election in the way they conduct them and the way out it come to the end of them. Say they announce the results. You go say that election will free, fair, credible, and transparent. Since we don't get reports from other observers them.
I know been day when they do them, but one thing I want to say, there is no election in the world. We're perfect. We're perfectly perfect. Even in America, when after everything done, people complain. They went to the court, challenge some of the results. I believe say the first thing we for do now for use the court system for make we bring out some of we grievances. Well, from what me see, how somebody said, I say, what we discuss now, they say most of the station them open late. But I say that also enough excuse for make the election not credible. When you look at a situation where they extend the time for people and we no votes and give the opportunity for vote. And unlike the incidents why he say, you get violence in some places, we can do without violence in this country here. Let we all be more civil and let we see how we can settle our differences in an amicable way. Like I said, we are sowing seeds. Whatever seed you sow, that you go reap later on, according to God's word.
Moisa, what thing you take on this as you listen to Reverend as well?
Well, really, if making come into waiting, Reverend they try for come up with, and he say touch not my anointing, but it's like we go for touch the real things them and come out with the appropriate things that we feel say we able to handle the issues them professionally. In the first place, I want to tell Reverend say the election was not transparent, it was not credible, it has a lot of flaws, which and that make APC take this stance for the young MPs they not know for work with this government until they left power. That's not the opposition that you stand. And if they stand on that, even to the international committee, let's just think about waiting public review just published against them. If people in the when as unions they did at the United Kingdom, they protest against this particular government, it's because they are misusing the constitutional rights of the citizens. That's now one. And which is very bad. It's leading us in a very, very negative way at the end of the day. If there is no good justice, no good transparent election, we go result into a war. Because we have aggravated something where maybe sometimes at that time we'll not go in at the world, But we picking them, the generations that go feel them pain them day. And we not go want Sierra Leone for day like that. We not go want them today, we not go want them tomorrow. If really SLPP be sure say this election, then win them through the ballot box. Why they not pull out the data? That is one. Then two, if really they know say this election will be a transparent election, why then go to the party office, go fire them, kill people and they, which is very, very bad at the side of the ruling government, and not buy the idea the problem. We're all citizens for God's sake. No need for law effect we serve. No need. No need for law effect we serve. No need for law going to violence. Yes. And then these people right now where we feel say they not accept this election because right now, look at the press release from American Embassy. There's still a demand for ECSL for produce the data. Whereas ECSL, the default up till now, no, they even show any rumors for produce their data today. I want to tell you something, Reverend, let me understand what enlisting as them. This election has been rigged before time. This election, this particular election, has been rigged before time. Because look at the results we ECSL, we connect call. They call, the result supposed to call the 23rd. The document shows the 24th. It means it's a proper document they came with. So in that light, you really see the election
You mean
election.
the first 60% where they call, the date where they announce and the date we been dealing are two different dates?
Not two different dates. The date supposed to be the 23rd.
Yeah.
Now the 24th paper the date.
Yeah.
Which one I go pull? When we questions them, when journalists questions them, they say that typographical error from the IT department. How do you do that? We're expecting professionals to be there. Now they pull the press release, we still get the documents in our archive. All written and published, we still get them for a record to be kept.
So, but
It's
according to Reverend, they say, for example, the protest where they do oversee right now, and not they against them, a fine for letting do them. But again, we care for look say, if you call a name and shame, we don't go to right now, we get for tell on we. So, we get for be very careful of what they ask for.
Well, to me, also, the protest, they know they're in place, actually. The protest really not in place, but let the protest then can wait and day. Because now, the sufferness we did that right now inside salon, easy. Any young man for like team up strong. Easy. Easy. I really want somebody from the opposition party, let them come online and then let them justify things the way they don't do it. Yes. With evidence, with virtual evidences, let them produce them. And let them do a presentation of all the jobs the way they do, with all the manifestos them. So if people they protest, now from the pain where they feel, that make them they protest. Because the left and people in there, they are going through and then they stop further back. At the end of the day, if they spend $1,000 for a month, now you get for $2,000, $3,000. But just see, say, in the country, their young people their life they go on well. So they get rights for protest. I don't feel say now wait till they want I make her the protest. If you don't want I know the protest. You only do that fit you, but you don't go do that alone. At the end of the day, they will take the gun that they trail you, or they will take the parema road they trail you. How can we live in such kind of life in this country? We say we have democracy. Is this a democracy we're living on?
Okay.
We are jeopardizing our own future for tomorrow.
All right.
So me they try for tell Reverend say, Reverend now say, it get to understand the economic situation, it get to understand the constitutional rights of the people, the citizens of this country. It get to understand the way people they suffer. The way people they suffer in this country, yeah, it's very, very difficult. Are we then grown as a grassroots? Are we know what they go on? Now we know what they go on. Even for we say question, things are very, very, very difficult.
Okay. All right. So la holiday quickly, and like come on with Reverend again. Reverend, you listen with Moisa Kekura, a senior journalist from the feature newspaper, waiting essay. You know, as a way of your additional words. What you will say?
Well, what you go say is there's so far away people is so far not to Sierra number that me I travel extensively. And yeah, somebody will say people is sleep in the street. Even yesterday, people is sleep in the street. I don't see posting, but I don't go back to America. I don't travel extensively in America. I don't go places we beginning the work be a foot. You know, so the hardship they all side, and we know how this country don't go from the term to now. How we know that it's not a secret how politicians rape this country here. You know, and from that abyss, for come out from that abyss for come up, easy. Sometimes you find for criticize. But if you go at the seats, what you go do? And again, like I said before, that we take time with you we demonstrate about. We get other things them for demonstrate about. If the Salarinas them in diaspora, anytime something go wrong, they kept a continual tap on affairs of this country. Like we want more water, we want roads, we want electricity. If we have been doing this, we would have kept the politicians on their toes. Not to when election come, all tell you the gap for protest. If Sierra Leone, number one, I make a contribution, which I contribute to my country. And number two, I point out and give advice to waiting how this country for one continually. People know me for that. Continually, I am doing that. Not to when election can no more, I can't grab for protest. That shows that possibly my intention is not genuine. I wish that me politician today. Unfortunately, me not a politician, and me they look things from a broad-based view and from experience. I know that this country, I'm over 60 years. I don't see this country in prosperity. I don't see how this country go into decadence from one step to the other. And there is country where you need to put light on, light no come. You need to pump water no come. And I see systematically how this was dismantled. And so in the hurt me now, they see things they happen. Now, go down to the dogs. And listen, I tell this, we all for come together and build this country up instead of just criticizing when once and when election can actually the graph for beginning criticize. That's what I'm saying. But like I said, there's no perfect election in the whole world. Even in America, you get election then we all tell you the question and then get the topmost and top notch what do you call them, technology.
But the young election different from where I live. Not a broad day robbery in elections than they do. They are doing a democracy election. Here is a broad day rigging. We get Naya Reverend. We're very, very, very bad.
Make I ask this question. Like I said, I was not there. Every polling station not get representatives from all the political parties.
Okay, let's tell you how Salon elections they go. Maybe you don't understand. You don't witness them yet.
No, I don't vote. See when I can go to the
you don't vote, but you don't know the rules. You don't vote, but you don't know the rules. Whether the regulation. You get me? If you don't know the regulations, and then you go no say there is a daylight robbery.
All right.
There is a daylight robbery and rigging. Number one, when we get every police stations around the country, and then we get a security day. That security then they for secure the ballot box them. Then they do for handle the things them professionally. Then we get the talent center. From that, where they don't come to the police station, from the police station, the managers then, they vet them, when they don't vet them, they stand around at the talent center, regional talent center. That depends by the
by all the parties also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This game can play somehow where like now that time that the parties they only the professionals them now when they do the calculation for spread them now then we read on a radio station and television and then they collate am now. That collecting send and then the problem in there. The figures the way they send is different because not only the commissioners them and the staff that in there. Okay. And the international committee themselves can represent. But they're not involved into the practice.
Moisala coming quickly. Reverend. Please, let's just come inside quickly. Reverend, let's make this very clear. What happened in this election? For example, Kailauan, Bonds, Pujan, and some parts in the south, yeah? Then we get a lot of challenge with regards to opposition. Waiting at the say. We see Usai after where the first lady been going at Kailauan and talk say the opposition not even deserve for get office na them parts there. So we see Usai then begin chase the opposition people them na their area then they Kailauan take to this time then they find people them. Yeah.
Then they burn the office Nabo.
Yes, they burn the office Nabo. Beat people then at Kailauan, na Bonds, na Pujel, drive them, you know, all of them things and they we see. So what thing can happen? During the election, most of them side and they not get party agents for the opposition. Okay, moving forward, let's say all of that and then are just side attraction. Coming down to the side, Usai they all man be get concerned. Whether they do the coalition, the tabulation, Usai they collect the results them. Now they all man get attention. And including all of the international observers them say ECSL fail for open the system for let everybody see what thing they do. Which is to say, waiting ECSL count and waiting them put na script na they no more sabi, nobody knows sabi. Political party not sabi, no they observer not sabi, they know they all they na do. Then ECSL they count and put waiting for. This now come up with the question about the credibility of ECSL and waiting and do. Whether waiting they end up for count now then put nobody know. As of this time when we talk so, even the US, United States of America, what say you so right now, don't ask for let the government investigate. But it's so funny and interesting for no say, ECSL when na in everybody the target say the need for release the result them by polling station, they're not say anything. But the government now they defend ECSL, when not to the government or not to the government of Marabio, anybody they go after in this case. So even the protest not against the government, but now against ECSL. So what do you now you take on this now that I don't try for paint a picture for you, Reverend?
But it's still the same. I think we need to get the established forum where we all agree. So now for we give answers to. This must be produced. This evidence must be produced in court. I believe that very strongly. Must be produced in court, so the whole world will see saying that this happened and this we beyond the Italy this thing we separate to a special Italy center. We do Italy this and you know it did.
Okay. So let's say you waiting happen at the court. Let's say let's just give you a brief background again of what happened at the court. Before the election, a lot of concern be done the day. I'm pretty sure if you not been this, if you don't the say, like for example, the opposition say the man where they conduct the election a court, not qualify. And some other things that they, for example, the voter register, for pull the voter register, they not agree. Then go to court say, okay, this man not qualify enough for the disposition. This voter register want the court for do that. You know what happened? The court not call the case until after the election. And the case then go to court for let them take action against ECSL before the election. But they not call them. Okay, so now like this, you na man of God. Then say, thou shalt not kill. And see? Now that now that they don't pass on to we for long term. But I put them this way. Yeah. Now, me get, two friends then. The one go na police station. He go lay complaint say, this me paddy say he want kill me. Oh. The police station then just take the report and then they left and they don't take no action. Then this paddy can kill this other paddy. Then later, the court take the case up. Now see your standard. If you fail for prevent the act, when the act don't be done, now you call the thing. Now see your standard.
You see, I get small knowledge about legal matters.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Tell me something.
So I believe that you can do some motion where the case could be heard speedily. I'm not quite sure, but like an expert in motion or whatever it is, you can do some motion where the case could be tried speedily, and get you redress even before if the thing really serious.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the Chief Justice in mind at that time.
Okay, I'm happy that you say you don't be waiting at the Chief Justice in mind. You know, the one of the lawyer we put in case forward na Charles Magai, and we know say in terms of constitution, one of the sober or first constitutional lawyers that they talk about, Charles Magai did it. If not the first, but they are amongst the first 5 or 10. I not quite understand, but it sabi so much about the constitution. So in no waiting for do, because it's a wealth of experience. Even experience past the Chief Justice. So in no waiting for do for fast track certain cases them. So but they're not calling case, they're not assigning case until after the election.
Now the grounds of the case, I think I remember now. Charles Magai say this man not qualify.
That's not the ECSL boss, yeah.
Yes, but the same.
You have to not accept that complaint though. The court be to that complaint. All the complaint that we go after election they be to we have. Not the way that it's on. Now that they make APC back, they withdraw, say they know they go court again. Then they take the decision where they want to take, and they stand on the decision up to date.
Okay.
Because that matter na court, justice not get for prevail on anybody.
All right.
Even I go see the truth.
All right.
They're not going to say it.
Because
the court is controlled.
All right. Moisa, you come back just now. Reverend, continue.
In the case of Charles Magai, I understand say at least in point where he say the Chief Justice, the ECSL commissioner, I think it's a bit late early. Because the same commissioner or authority appear under for legalizing in application to stand as a contestant. And so afterwards you will take that if you don't go legalize and accept the man in position appearing before him and accepting it, always only will complain. If you don't do that before, and you see, and before realizes that the commissioner, I believe, was approved by Parliament, and all the parties were there, and they approved him. So how come now?
But you always say them they don't stand up against in approval before they you know how you been talent, you know, with the last Parliament, the opposition stand against that, but yet still it passed through.
Well, not that's the rule of the majority. Almost how many people vote against it or for it? That's to look. So that's a democracy. If there are more people who vote, let me say it represents the will of Parliament and subsequently the will of the people.
Okay. All right. Moisa, before we move to another thing, quickly, you've been trying to make a point.
The point where, like, I did therefore make for Reverend be able to understand is that the rules and regulations, them, even the constitution and the mandates them where this government gets for let them handle citizens peacefully because we are all the same people. They are not a walk towards that. They are not walking towards that. All those took in Parliament during their 5 years, it was enforceful. It was enforceable because we all go no say whenever them they take certain decisions them APC be they walk out, and if they put police behind APC MPs them. Now Parliament we see alive. They were intimidated, they were embarrassed, maltreated, molest, even take them to police, to CID, investigate them, take our honorables, take the honorables to Parema Road. This like I said, from above.
Should have been
so we need to know and understand some of them things the way they happen in our country. We may not be there. We may not be there. I don't say Reverend, you really they come out with things, but there are certain things then where you're not sure, where you know even offend with. But I can understand from the point of view where you come out. That's why I pipe down a little bit, and then we get a better good debate where listeners they go able to understand and transform them. Because we come in on here and follow able to transform the good from the bad. The bad things are they happy, Lord able to transform into the good. And then they make they come on here and debate it and get a final word what will they able to address the issues them and then the issues, and they repeat back again, so that we can get a workforce forward.
Okay. All right. Reverend, you want to make points before we go to this next issue?
Like I said again, we all lack with country. Like I said again, is that number one, I'm not a politician, but I'm an observer.
Okay.
And you see, like I said, all throughout this past 5 years of the party's reign, some of these things would have been reasons for legitimate demonstrations. Like it's a little drop of economic mighty ocean, you know. And so now when you object to everything that comes in and make them public with evidence of photographs, you know, when I come over people and tell me, say, oh, they kill people in the streets, bodies all over the place. That's at this age where on my mobile phone, where are the pictures? And where are the pictures where you say if you kill somebody, who that the person?
Sorry, I missed that one, Reverend. I missed that one. They come again, sir. Please. You say waiting?
No, I say when I come. When I can travel, they can tell me, say, they kill people in Sierra Leone, bodies are lying all over the streets. I can say, on a mobile phone. Why you never take this mobile phone, make we show our feet on this, and make we see, say, you get evidence. No, for talk one thing and for prove na two different things. And I noticed that a lot man like
after this meeting, I will send you a lot of pictorial evidences, sir.
I don't see someone from Cameroon. I don't see someone from Cameroon. I've been to Cameroon. I know Cameroon. I've been to Cameroon. And some of these things on the be shown at Cameroon. Not here.
No, wait. We get one video day.
We got the one there, not to Cameroon.
No, wait. We get one video. We get only one video. Moisa, we get only one video within Cameroon. Because of people being misinterpreted that because the Cameroon Creole and Leon Creole one similar. So they misunderstand that now one woman where they put her street and then they pull it in. But that one they different. Reverend, for a long time now they don't do several, you know, extrajudicial killings inside the country. You don't see them? Even recently we see body then they float from the water. You not see it?
I don't see it. Please send it for me to see.
Oh, okay. And that happened just after this recent demonstration where we see the security forces and the fire people in the water. 2 days after that, the body then come up now the sea. And recently again, another woman floats from the water where impacts them, then don't pull them again. You don't see that as well?
Yeah, I don't see that.
Ah, okay. It's Alex says something they can pray too much, so you know they see what anything they have for. Alright. So let me go quickly to another issue. Let me go to another issue and let me take the Apex newspaper. The Apex newspaper say state capture, independent voices silent. You get the recent for the newly appointed Minister of Information and Civic Education, and then you get Aissata Mahoiwe as well. The all two have been civil society voices them now part of the government. Moisa, what do you think about this particular headline from the Apex newspaper? What happened?
Well, you know why they laugh?
No, sir.
I they laugh because you forget a very good mind people who really mean good for the country. Not a big short kind of people or be in their kind of status than they. Because I believe in a democracy country, if you want a country grow, put the people them, we got the qualification, the requisite qualifications them, we got the experts at the right positions for letting rule. So we will get a result at the end of the day. But politicians then this country, they say it came from above and it's an executive order that we should choose whosoever they want to choose for any position, whether this person has the locus or neither I don't have the locus, the qualification, we can put them there. This is one of the things where they spoil this country. If me not send me an accountant, send me a finance lab or work because I didn't make the qualification calling, I didn't make knowledge for day. I didn't make knowledge for day. If me not taxation at person, we read economics, send me na NRA. Send me na NRA. But some of these particular ministerial positions, the way they pull, parastatals them, I get a questions about that. And some of these questions are they reserve that opinions. Because why? And they see this country with the cancer of her back. for more than the 5 years. Because they don't choose the right people and at the right positions. If you want to pick a cabinet that you want to be a successful government for the next 5 years of your mandate, I believe say one of your proactive actions them when you for take at this country, put the people who get the right qualification at the right offices. Will be able for lead for a better salary.
Okay.
But IT man, you go put people side women not to IT self, you go put me some side women not to IT place. Take instance of example. That theology 9 Timothy read. You go take Timothy, go put on a foreign affairs. What you go able to do? Waiting at the influences that he gets, waiting at the knowledge he gets from attending to international affairs of the ministry. Theology now read. Then you go put somebody there like that. So like me, I go just make that one example there. That one example there. But I get so many questions there. I get so many questions there back. Look at those where you pull out from information, the crowd go now labor. Then the ministries them back where they open. The offices them back where they don't open. All these get for weigh down on our taxpayers' money. And at the end of the day, the economy they still they fall. We can look at that. Too much of ministries the way they open, are they against it? Too much of our states the way they open, are they against, because they don't need money for all the institutions and they come up from with taxpayer money.
Okay, so the appointment of civil society them into the government. Now that we go refer to as a part of the state capture.
No, let me tell you something about the civil society. They are all politicians. The civil societies in Sierra Leone, they are all politicians. That I can clearly say it. And I don't even put on an FSC, the way that they act presently, you know, correct. Because just after the election, civil societies they came out saying that they're supposed to be in power. They're supposed to have job. You have job now. You are in an NGO somebody. You have to be a neutral people. You have to be somebody who is neutral. But now you don't come in as a politician. You don't have people for work. So that's to say, if they go against your opposition party just because of your selfishness and self-centered issue.
Okay.
So if you are a civil society person, you don't go pick a job like that. It means if you don't bias, if you don't take a side, so that they compensate them so now.
Okay.
So like for civil society, these are people are not even counter any society any longer. I don't even have respect for them because they are not doing the right thing they're supposed to do.
Okay, so if we reach to that point, let's bring in Reverend. Reverend, what do you think about this headline? State capture, independent voices silent. Then put 2 civil society activists, them very strong one them. We one from Purposeful, one from I think Maopenet or so, I can't remember. OneUp, you know, West Africa Peace Building Network or so. We themselves, you know, don't be part of the government now. And at some point we'll be suicide, then we don't decide with the government on several issues then. So what thing that you take on this as you know, a man of God really watch the situation at the country?
When you the word state capture is a very big term, and it just means put in a nutshell, there's the statement for control, to representatives everywhere, every nook and cranny of state administration. But isn't that politics? Really, all over the world. I mean, why when post somebody kind of power now for make sure say in getting man now every place. I agree with me, but that's probably the cabinet, whatever it is, and then there's so many people where they appoint. But then you look at it this way. I've been in leadership positions before. Which I see from where I sit, the man they don't get the see him. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I know much more than the people in the way they work under me. So that make I can hardly criticize leadership because they know something that me not know. And if na me self in that position there, I might have behave worse. And so what people say is let's look how all this they play out and let's see how them people there go perform. But one thing I'm glad for the inclusion of women and also you know, now young people in cancer, we
Yeah.
get energy for work. Like I said, let's see how this is going to play out.
Okay, so let's take una to the economy, different topic totally. You know, and Moisa be don't begin talk about the economy. He said we don't begin talk about the economy. But look at what in IMF say from Awoko newspaper. Let's just project them so we people and go see them. Yeah, the Awoko newspaper get this banner, well, this small headline with them puts and say IMF staff criticizes loose micro or macroeconomic policy stance in 2022 and 2023. So now we'll go to the next paper again, and I will show now what in this paper say. This other paper as well, we get this headline on the same. In talk about inflation and other things. Then let's just bring and come up for we. Let me see them quickly. This one are from the paper we then call, you know, New Age newspaper. It say gloomy economic outlook for Sierra Leone. It say inflation increases from 41.7% to 44.3%. Real GDP growth moderate from 4.1 to 3.6. Growth projected to slow down from 3.4 to 2.7, and fiscal deficit widen from 0.85 billion millions to 1.85 billion millions. So wait till we want for talk about the economy now. You know, you wanna be so much passionate about the economy in the beginning. All my want for talk about the economy. Low list you wanna take them. This time I will take Reverend first.
Yeah.
No, I'll take Reverend first.
Okay, grateful. I joined the queue.
You see, number one, me not an economist, number one, but I get I study economics up to 6-2.
Okay.
And yes, and most of the time, just like medicine or the sciences, two people can disagree on points. You know, one economist in view could be countered by another economist, depending on where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So, and before I'm to look at the economy, we take it on the paper, you know, we see normally we as we see things, you know, money not in our bank, but the records can show say money day. I mean, the cash not in day, but records can show say money day. So, I believe that every country they face economic hardship. You know, you get even America, they go say the president is spent too much and this and that, and all get to it. Like I said, now we duty for point out this to government and make you see how we can help them for solve this problem. You know, I believe that there is no problem that cannot be solved if we all hang it together and do it. That's why I immediately ask for unity among all of us. If we criticize, let we find solutions and let we offer solutions, and then we'll get a better country.
Okay, Moisa.
Yes. Before I go to the economy, I just done with the cabinet side. Then I can go inside for the economy.
Go ahead.
I'm not against the president's announcement of this particular cabinet where don't pick empathators. I'm not against them because we are all one Sierra Leoneans, we're all one people, and an progressive rights and constitutional rights. Where you get the mandate for choose whosoever they want to choose according to the Constitution. 1991 is state and clear. Section 45. You get me? One of it to know when me they against in any country where you want political country, put the right person at the right place. Don't do favorism because of this person not help me. Like what society did. They just degrade themselves. That let's help them under the sufferness. That's why they are appealing for job. Because me get me NGO, I feel say me NGO I need to do the right thing. Which man I go carry inside, and then I will get a donor. So long as I'm doing my professional job, I will get a donor who will sponsor me. That's just the truth. So like me not against anybody where they choose that this government, this current government, we're all Sierra Leoneans. We need to work for one nation for economic development. Let's go back to the economy. Number one, we economy. Now one of the most poorest economy. So if they put an other newspaper say we get 40-something% of the GDP, oh my God, this is a real misleading information. Very, very misleading information they are giving us. For those who don't know. Number one for IMF is me, number one, I don't ever agree for work with IMF. Any country where IMF get voice over, that country the economy not ever steady. Because IMF, one of the objective points where they always mass, that they're for profit. That they're always for profit. So me not they work with IMF. During the days of President Kuma, one of the problems that they get with IMF, because the mandates of them they point out to President Kuma be they reject them. They say, no, we cannot work like this. If we work like this, our economy will be broke. And at the end of the day, you know, the people that go suffer down there and in government go get bad name. So it not be they really tolerate them.
That's right.
It not be they tolerate them, but so many divisions. But so many divisions. I'm just coming in with some examples. You get me? Now, the status of the economy now what we did now, because of the election, they say dollar don't come down. Election, every done it, election, the dollar don't go above IBD. If much better than the no church and said, let them left IBD. Now the businessman they suffer. If you watch now, there are so many investors who want to invest at this country because of the economic situation and the dollar rate, they make them not income. Because at the end of the day, they can't invest, and then they lost. Now then they lost. And then they lost. Now you can have black markets. You buy dollar now, it don't go up. You go to a bank, the rates not be the same. I don't go to Africa countries them. I see how they work with the black market, and I see how they work with the successful the ruling government, where they run the administrative affairs of the government. I see how they work with them. And the economy they go on well. Guinea what we money be pass. Now you go with $100. Now say you take now for example, I take 1 million euros across now a border. Wait to Guinea franc Guinea. In a month they give you each 150 just for 1 million. So you see how our economy they down? You see how we they suffer? Cost of living very difficult. Rice don't go up. Common things then, common commodities then a market all long go up now this country. So I feel say this government, one of the things first where they need for do is to fix the economy. Let cost of living go be very much nice for people then. Because the increase of beggar man in our streets don't increase. Just watch every Thursday to Friday. Let you see how the streets they jam packed with beggar man them and people only suffer. You go by Kisingo, the amount of people where they sleep in the streets them. Oh my God, you go feel so sorry for people in this country. And government not they look into all the things that they. Government not they look into all the things that the politicians they are very selfish and self-centered to themselves. They only consider themselves and their parents and their family. What about the people out there? These are the people who voted for them. They look at the status of the economy. Where are we going in Sierra Leone today? And what are we doing? And what do we want to achieve? If you don't take all that money that they put on no more that you buy, you want clean. You say you know they do sharing. You say you know they do investment in the country. Then the country they go back to work. People are still suffering. Go to the provinces there, my dear brothers. You see how people in the suffer. We put on, hey bro, today, but you know, I would say they're happy. Until that man will say, but that man they don't do me good. That's the happy now in this country. This is the only way these people, young people are surviving. All right. Some people don't want it. So, like the economy, let me go to the area of the commercial bank out in the up.
Okay, go ahead quickly.
Go commercial bank. Yes, you go now to commercial bank. The rate of commercial bank now to the black market is a very big gap. Very, very big gap. So, I feel so sorry for Sierra Leoneans that when they tell us within 3 months that they fix up the economy, that they fix up the light, that they fix up agriculture for all get a food security. Watch now, what they go on presently. there is no better achievement where they go on at the country as I say so now. Because the opposition know they work with them. So them. And how the international committee go able to sponsor people now in this country. So now they the rest get for candidate. Now they the sufferers get for candidate.
All right.
Because if all they work as one, there's a possibility for let the economy go be decrease. But if we are all not working at once, the possibility for let the economy go be difficult for this government.
All right. Okay,
that's
the truth. Okay. Let Reverend come inside quickly. Reverend, yes, you want to make a point. Yes, and then one other thing again I want let you touch on. Moisa when they talk about the economy where you agree with them. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you see, let this IMF issue. Now we understand say that these guys are not working for our interest. In fact, I read a book a long time ago. I think it's still on sale. How the IMF underdeveloped Africa. If you read that, you understand how these people operate. And one other thing about this arena now, where I see our dependence on the international community. It's like we not get over that slave mentality. We always to say if Whitman not involved, we not go better. And we forget rid of that. I mean, we for learn for take the responsibility of our own situations. At least I don't see where they come now see where people they sleep that it. I think we have a problem of population distribution. I think the government for look into that. We have so many people in town that are not supposed to be in town. They were well off in their villages.
Okay. And for me, in your opinion, I think everything they cause down in a decentralization. The government, to be honest with you, not a decentralized. Most of the things are centralized. Even the local council is supposed for the handle several things, then they not agree for giving anything in there. Because all man they look for see, waiting and forget.
That's what I'm saying. Population distribution, we can change the way how people settle. If we use, if we employ certain measures and waiting for do. You see, like we now applying ball. And I don't see how, like how you say, people are gonna village suffer. Me not see how person in a village go suffer where you get farm for plants. You go to Singapore, you go. I don't see person in backyard. All man they plant. We for take responsibility. Let we self go back to the land and see what you can get. Everybody can do that. So you go at least you go eat a square meal a day. But all man they go come freedom for come. Put one packet water like it, they go sell, we make money, you go sit down back, you go sleep. That is not. And this mentality in this country here, that the government, if you don't go make and put plate on your table for it. No. The responsibility of government.
The Singapore, for example, they talk about so. Now one game man and put policy in place for able for go on. And that starts with the government.
Yeah. This is what you should do here. It's what we should do here. But
yes. So if the government actually lay the foundation, like waiting then do in Singapore, where the leader of Singapore lay the foundation, everybody go follow suit.
Well, exactly. That's what we should do. That's what we should do for lay the foundation. Let we get rid of this foreign contribution mentality, and let we adopt a mentality say myself can feed myself. There are so many people working, so many land out that way. We're virtually useless. We don't utilize them. Why shouldn't we go and do things them? And let me say this again. Anytime we can get to election, you have to say the biggest political parties they import people from upline country from, and when they come, then they go back. They go back. This is what they cause this overloaded population in the western area. We should do something about it. Then you will find out say people then go back to the land and till the land and live a better life than they used to. Look for country and can't sit down and make place so uncomfortable for themselves.
All right.
You see?
So let's touch on the last issue for this program this morning, where basically I'll look at the ACC, Anti-Corruption Commission, and that of the asset declaration. Then just don't talk tough according to the paper. Then say if you fail for declare your assets, ACC go impose penalty. And this now for the appointees them. The one the way they just do appoint. What about the big one them? We're not hearing anything for them. We're not hearing nothing from the office of the president, no nothing. And not to foresee things that not happen. So if I make them very clear, based on what's in the paper then they talk, what do you not think about this asset declaration?
Good, and I think that we should put pressure on the government for make the all appointees them release within they be done put forward as the asset compared to which they get now.
So how we
I
will
mean,
know
we should
where
look into
all
that.
thing they based on secrecy?
Well, I don't know about that if it's based on secrecy.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know
they
about
say
that.
everybody for declaring assets, but not just anti-corruption. No, we the public not for no at all.
Well, I don't know. Did somebody say that?
Yeah, now the law. Then I told waiting and say they can declare, but waiting and declare. Almost they be get to almost they get when they do the exit to we know they know nothing. The public, I mean the public, but ACC then they know. But how they deal with it, how they not deal with it, we the public not go know. So whether they cover them party or then they expose them foe, we don't know.
I believe there's an information or to a secret way you can take somebody to court for making release documents. I mean, I think you should do that.
Well, in the case
But
of yes, the information will lead you to that, but not in this case where the law say no.
The law say okay. I don't know about that aspect of the law. I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
I'm not about that aspect, but what I'm saying is there are some things them. You see, there are things that what we for to talk about. We very important. Like this one. So these are the things that we should bring out. Say, I mean, if you want for know this type, the Information Act is there. We activate them and utilize them for let people like release documents.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
this freedom to Information Act.
Okay.
Black.
Yeah, Moisa. Yes, go ahead.
The issue here of the ACC department, in the first place, when they came to power, when SLPP came to power, 2018, they said the president to be the first person to do a declaration of assets. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
But now, the president not come out yet and make a declaration of assets. Wait till you don't get. Wait till you don't achieve. Because if you tell me say they take salary, now this 5 years now they begin take salary. And this 5 years they begin take salary. So let him first come out and can do declaration of the assets and now he gets. We ready for look up to that expectation there from the president. Let him first come like I be do boldly when he chose Benkefala. He was the first person who went there to hand over everything to Benkefala. Although it was not published publicly, but it took the formality, go through the right procedures of the Anti-Corruption Commission. So let's do the same. All of the things them back. If you say 2018, when he took power, they say APC eat all the money. So now this is 2023. I want this government to come out with what they left in the coffer. What in the left? Let them come back and declare that. So we say that this we make. And that this we lost. Now this, because in any accounting there must be a loss. Because our profit and debit and loss we they deal with. Now we know the balance we left. We want to know which our balance. We the citizen they demand for which our balance. So we go not on this taxpayers' money where they collect through. Now this left. And now this they can work with, but they expect more for campaign and then because the economy will stable. Starts with the declaration from the president, the vice president, the first lady, the chief minister, and all ministers and all cabinet. Then we can come down to power status and directors and commissioners that they have appointed. So these are the things we need to look into. We start from top. We cannot start from the bottom.
And seriously,
yeah, man, I hope I'm saying the truth and then I'm protected.
Well, as I was saying, we just start this fresh administration. Let's see what's going to happen. We just see new administration just start. We just finish election and we're going to get things together.
Basically, they say we don't done 5 years, yeah. So let them tell we, for example, waiting they don't make, waiting they don't lost, and then we will know waiting they want for come again and declare or yes to the ACC.
Yes.
But as it is now, we're not having nothing.
Yeah, we're not having nothing, but it has to be public. When President go 2018, we go declare. They not publish a money. Enter ground envelope no more than go give Kefala.
Because now waiting the law say. Moisa now waiting the law say. So that law, that part of the law now we need to look at and say, okay, let's review and say if you can't declare for the sake of the public, law will know waiting on get. So we say that will be the watchdog. But anyway, Reverend, come inside again if you make a point.
Yes, like I said, I think this administration just starts. We can make the request now and make we see the response. I don't know if that the priority as administration take over for then declare the assets or whatever it is. I don't know if it's a priority, but like I said, then just start. We can make the request now and then we'll see the response.
Okay, so if we reach to that point, I want to tell you thank you. What do you think about the program in terms of everything you discuss? You think the program okay?
Oh, it's powerful. It's wonderful, and I hope it gets a worldwide attention and patronage.
Okay, thank you.
It's wonderful. Thank you for allowing me to come in.
All right, Moisa, how you see the discussion?
Well, the discussion is very, 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 very powerful. It's just that number way we don't discuss there. If really then they listen, let them take some of them things there. They learn from it. They learn from their mistake, because this was one of the things President Kuma was doing. When you criticize President Kuma, you're not going to ever answer. They run after you. They even put police behind you on either it take kaya can do this. No, they will never do that. What did they do? From their mistakes that they rectify.
All right.
They immediately call cabinet meeting, or he call the ministers involved, they call the parastatals involved, they can discuss this big out. But now this how they move manipulator for let this happen.
All right, Moisa. Reverend, I think you steal the show today. Like 90% of the comments are on you.
If this present government could, hello?
Yes, yes, Moisa, please hold on. Yes, Moisa, hold on. Reverend, you get me? Reverend?
Yes, I get you. I hear you.
Yes, I say 90% of the comments then, if not over, now basically what you discuss now they all they talk about. So you steal the show this morning, and a lot of people then get controversial view about the way how you discuss the issues then. And a lot of people, you just get few way, the controversial views them in there. I wish all of them people are basically on a panel with you. Forget the discussion the way out. But a lot of
like I said, I wish I was a politician, but I'm not. And so I don't look at from the political point of view. I look at from the religious and Christian background.
Okay.
Like how doing my best to see how God looked at it and not how much I'm look at them.
I know. All right. Says Moisa, we come to the end. You will say something just now. Very sorry about that.
No problem. I believe Pastor just look at the spiritual aspect of how life's supposed to run. That's how he handle the situation.
Okay, and we expect that.
At the physical, yes. We look at the physical concepts of what they happen and how things will go on. Now they look at and we debate on it, because we want this country to be straight. We want this country to be developmental country. Mm-hmm. You get me? We want the economy to be stable, but this economy is down totally. So I expect this government now to do a much better. And if they do a much better, I believe they will get a better goal for Sierra Leone. And we youth man them, the one who they come up, the one who they college, they will be employed. Because there are so many unemployed people them. We don't come on and college, we take they not get job yet. Up till now, some man on the 5 years, 4 years, 10 years, you name them. These are some of the things them we need for work on. The economy more, let them strike in the economy, let things them calm down. Not so for big people, no more than the issue. But let them come for can deliver. Let them come for can deliver, and let them help the government for do something when are the right things when they're supposed to do. Okay. I believe if they do some of them things, then they will fine.
Thank you.
Because sometimes they can choose them when they can for their pocket, nobody they come.
Thank you very much, Moisa Kekura, for you join me inside the program this morning. And we as well get Reverend Lionel Bett. We join me all the way from the United States of America. We appreciate your time so much. Thank you very, 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 very much. And we wish you a very, very good day.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So that are the two guests that will be getting inside the program today. Reverend Lionel Bett and Moisa Kekura from Featured Newspaper. Thank you very much to the producer for this program, Wena Elias Abba. Thank you very much. And to all comments them, not for me to comment them and I don't read them at all. Okay. Umujalo na Sama Koroma. SAMMA Koroma. Okay. Now here are the name of the PayPal. Thank you. I'll just put them for you. All right, so now this Umukuma. Thank you very much to now all. We don't take my time for watching program. We'll join you again Annette for another edition of a program we call We Are. Until then, me not the freedom fighter. God bless. We continue Sierra Leone where we call We Are.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, I just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. So man